who's in and who's out over there?
Yeah, I think it all starts with their offensive coordinator, their offensive staff. I think they do a really good job. They play with tempo, a bunch of formation variations. So you have a lot to deal with regardless of who's at the quarterback. I think they're both very talented, but I do think that he ran very effectively in the quarterback run game and extending plays. I think Morton is very talented. He just doesn't have the experience and the reps, to be able to see as much from him. But I think from an arm talent and ability standpoint, he's very talented. And I think their offense, I don't know how much it'll change, but I think he's capable of making big plays and getting the distributor involved very well. And he is athletic, so I think he has the ability to run the ball, and you can see that on tape. So I think the preparation is going to be very similar. I think he's probably very excited to play, and he's probably going to get all the reps this week. So I'm sure he'll be sharp and ready to go. And they have a package, as far as skill players and running backs that are very talented and explosive that can go the distance. So we have to do a really good job of, trying to make sure we do whatever we can do to keep our guys in the right position to not give up explosive plays and those really good athletes they have on the perimeter.
That process with him? Yeah,
Isaiah is very unique. He's a local product that went to Channelview High School here in Houston and raised by his family right down the street. He's from the 5th Ward right down the street, and then he played at TSU. So it doesn't really get any better than that for him as far as family and friends and football. But he went to TSU. He was a receiver, a basketball player receiver that kind of transitioned, and Coach Hurst got him over at Channelview. Me and Coach Hurst have a really good relationship and family ties from previous stops. And so we saw him in high school, probably underdeveloped, hadn't played a lot of football until his 11th grade year. Played receiver, then kind of transitioned to being a defensive back. Had a really productive year last year at TSU where he had 7 picks, and I think he had 3 touchdowns. So the ball is not an issue for him. If he's around the ball, we feel like he can make a play. I think the part of his game that has grown the most is you see him being physical in the run game. So we're excited to have him. I think the sky's the limit. I think he's a big-time football player, and he's one of the most competitive kids that we have on our team that loves to work. He loves to compete, and it's important to him. So he's a very unique story. But I think the more he plays, the more that you'll see production from him. Talent is not an issue for him. We're just kind of, getting his technique and the discipline and learning our scheme and getting him involved. And he's done really good, really fast. So I expect him to continue to get better and provide a lot of value for our football team. Yeah, it's always a concern in the first couple games, especially when you play quality opponents. And we started the season out at UTSA. We did miss some open field tackles. And the better the competition, the faster the pace, the more the tempo plays into it. You have to do a really good job of being disciplined and technique, especially in open field tackling. As our competition continues to increase this week with Texas Tech, the ball is going to be on the perimeter a lot. We have to do a really good job of tackling in space. A lot of that comes with overall athleticism and being in right body position. And then Brooks is a load at running back. And so you have to wrap him up. He's not looking to just run around you. He will run through you. And you see that on tape with several opponents that he's played up until this point. He has a couple of those plays each and every game where he's making people miss an open field, and then he's also running through people and getting really good yards after contact. So that's another emphasis, and that's going to be an emphasis every week, is to play physical and be fast, but finishing plays at the point of attack. How we play blocks and block protection and how we tackle on the perimeter is something that is always going to be an emphasis, and it's going to be even bigger challenge this week with the style of offense that they play.